Spawning in the top left hand corner of Gressfarm, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing Team Abydos. It is DRG. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Gressfarm, we have the player currently leading this series 1-0, representing CranKy Gaming. It is herO. Oh boy. So again, herO was able to take the first game. I believe it was a late game on Babylon, if I'm not mistaken. Game 1 was on Babylon, and herO was able to take it in the end, going up against, or playing with a very ground Protoss-centric army, Grantos-centric army, with gateways, with Immortals, and with Archons as well, from what I could tell. But we'll see how the Dong can switch things up. We shall see the one true Dong himself. God, it's been so long. It's been so long since we've been able to experience DRG in his fullest, and it's great to see him here once again, just going for a hatch gas pool opener. The good old days of Heart of the Swarm, when there was a bit of a rivalry between DRG and Jaedong. For those who are maybe a little bit newer to the scene, Jaedong, even though he was a legend in Brood War and StarCraft 1, and even in the later years of Brood War as well, he did have a pretty big showing and a pretty big career in StarCraft 2 as well. In StarCraft 2, he was one of the big Kongs of StarCraft, and the Kong, or a Kong, is a term used for players, it's a Korean term, used for players that basically get second places a lot. You know, it's been historically Zerg players. Yellow was the Brood War Kong. You know, we had Jaedong, we had Byul, we had Su, mainly mainly Zerg players. And yeah, Jaedong had a bit of a rivalry with Dongregyu as well. Back then, the Dong Wars were a thing. It's beautiful, it was amazing, something to behold. Oh, let's go. Now, many years later, we see DRG returning here against herO, another old school player, and it's great to see DRG in form again. Both of these players have, of course, already conducted their military service. They are done, they are out, they are here to compete once again. And DRG has still been finding his footing. We've seen herO rise to the upper echelons of Protoss, becoming one of the best, if not the best Protoss in the world. Classic has been also rising up recently after a year of coming back. Likewise, after a year of coming back, DRG, he's still there in the middle of the pack. Like, when I think of the best Zerg players in Korea, I think of Solar, I think of Dark, I think of Ragnarok. I do think of DRG, but I think of him just under them as maybe 4th place, or that 4th kind of placement just under Ragnarok, Solar, and Dark. So yeah, he's really looking to break into that upper scene and kind of come into his own once again, like we know he can. And we'll see if he can do that here against herO. We shall see. As so far, standard opener. Oh god. Hatch gas pool from DRG. herO going for a Stargate opener. Going for an Oracle first. Nothing too crazy. He's going to be keeping his Oracle back at home for a moment, just to make sure his 3rd base gets up and running. Keeping an eye out on those Lings. The Lings are making their way across the map, but the Oracle is here to defend. The Adept as well. herO will be holding on to his 3rd base, and from here, he's just going to be waiting for his 2nd Oracle before moving out. Now we do have that Twilight Council follow-up, and there is the Forge. Is herO going to pull a Classic and go for Glaives? I don't think so. I feel like this should be for +1 and for Blink, or even Charge. Don't know if I have seen herO go Glaives before, but I don't know if he's willing to do so here on Gressfarm. We'll see, we'll see. Anything can happen, as we've seen here today already. As now that the 2nd Oracle has arrived, the 1st one can freely move out across the map. He's going to dance between the bases, but the Queens are in position and there is no way in. Not a single drone goes down. And DRG just swats this away. Love to see it. Meanwhile, across the map, the Overlord dips into the main, confirms, gets eyes on +1, gets eyes on the researching Twilight Council as well. I should be well aware that it is going to be +1 and blink. Now the question is, how many gateways are we going to be staying on? Because we only have 2 gates for the time being. We have a 3rd gateway on the way, and okay, there we go. We are getting into our gateway explosion. We're not going for the tech-heavy style of fast Colossus. We are going to be committing here to earlier Stalker aggression instead. As we're going to be working with 6 gates in total. Love to see it. Oh, did I say 6? I meant to say 7. A 7th gate gets thrown down. We have a Prism on the way, and this is going to be hyper aggressive from herO, because did I say 7? I should have said 8 gates. This is going to be a 3 base all in, just mass blink stalkers. We've seen this before. Classic was able to pull this off a couple of weeks ago, and the idea behind this is that you just reinforce, and you just aggress your opponent, just constantly in the face of the Zerg, looking to break through in towards the 3rd base, in towards the natural. And with the micro of herO, like, he can work some wonders here with this. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty intense. To defend, DRG is going to be working with Ling Roach. It's got a Baneling Nest on the way. He's prioritizing +1 melee as well. Oh my god, he gets a full surround on the 4th base, and he does force a cancel. But at the same time, herO is looking to do some counter damage. The Oracles roke up across the map. They're going to be able to take down some of these drones. Ooh, the Spore not quite in position in the natural. 8, 9 drones go down. 10. Oh, just 9. And these things are going to be keeping herO back for the time being. But here we go. The Stalkers are moving out. Where's the Prism? The Prism is across the map as well. Actually on the left-hand side instead, looking to harass. Interesting. Boy, so the Prism not really coming into play too much. I want to say it's possible that because of the harassment at this 4th base, herO is transitioning. He threw down a 2nd forward, so we're going into 2-1. And these Stalkers haven't been able to do too much here until now. Finally, the Prism is able to warp in, but herO is supply blocked. Oh, God. We have 2 more pylons on the way. But herO needs them now. Look at his bank. Like, herO is waiting for the warp in, forced to warp in back at home because of the Ling counter attack. Oof. As a result, DRG, he's going to be able to establish his 4th base, his 5th. He's going to be able to drone. Infestation bit's about to finish up. We can get into Hive Tech. herO hasn't been able to be as aggressive as he would have liked to have been. But there we go. We have another massive warping of Stalkers. This may be delayed, this may be late, but this can still do a lot. Ooh, as the Ling Roach gets on top of this, Bailey's roll in from behind as well. Completely forcing herO back. But without those Lings, herO can still dance with this army, can still try to pressure these bases. Instead, it's going to be rotating over towards the center of the map, clearing up as much creep as he can. As we do have a Baneling run by, and is herO looking? Is he looking? No! herO, he is not looking. 14 probes go down the entire mineral line. Oh, he was just a little bit too focused in the middle of the map with his Blink Stalkers. And that means that this push has to do that much more damage. Banelings do find some connections with the Zealots. But we have more Zealots where that came from. We have more Stalkers as well. And the dangerous thing is that because the Oracles died earlier, there are no stasis traps. Like, typically, what is scary about this push is that we have 2-3 Oracles behind this with stasis traps, with Pulsar beams to activate to punish the Lings that surround these Stalkers. But all the Oracles died. herO was a little bit careless. As once again, another Baneling run by here does find another mineral line. 12 probes go down. At the same time, we do have a massive warping of Zealots here into the main base, but that Prism is going to fall. Prism does get picked off by those Spores, but the Zealots are wreaking havoc in the main. Lings do come back home to defend. Ooh, a big reaction out of DRG. Pulls back his entire army. At the same time, herO is still threatening that forward base. Well, it looks like DRG is able to split up his army. He does hold. Oh, that was a cancel on the Lurker Den. The lurker den is going to be delayed. herO rotating towards the center of the map. But because of all this creep spread, herO, he just can't really do too much, and even more stalkers get caught out. Ay, ay, ay. More stalkers go down. herO's in a lot of trouble. Like, he's been losing so many stalkers throughout the course of this game. 15 stalkers have gone down, and this is a style that's supposed to snowball. But because of all the bailing run-bys as well, because of the prism going down, because of the deflection of this harassment, DRG has so much control. He's about to max out. Oh no, another Ling counterattack. Thankfully, we do have some weapons available. herO does manage to defend back at home. But DRG's economy has been left untouched. Adrenal about to kick in. Lurker upgrades as well. Once we have a fight, DRG is going to be remaxing on those lurkers. Now, to be fair, herO's army is getting a little bit more sophisticated. We've got some Archons. Lings aren't going to be as useful. See herO transitioning into a second Robo and a Robotic Spade to get into Colossus or Disruptors, more likely. DRG is now maxed out. Because he's maxed, he should be being active with his army. Looks like he's still afraid of where the army of herO is. As there we go, he commits to a counterattack. He does shut down these Zealots. But we have another defensive warping back at home. herO has been able to close the gap in the supply. Oh, but the Archons are being caught out. The blink exposes them and every single Archon goes down. Even off of creep, DRG has been just taking some incredible fights. And herO supply plummets once again. He's getting into Disruptors and they're a great way to come back in this game. But DRG has the Hive already. Like, if he wants to, we can get into Vipers. Like, DRG, he has the tech available to get whatever he needs. And I think herO is making the right call. I think this call is late, but the correct one. +1 air attack. herO, in the back of his mind, he's getting ready for a Skytoss transition. I do think that that's probably the best answer in this situation. But we'll see. We shall see as DRG is going for a bit of a counterattack. He does run into those Disruptors. Oh my god, as herO is distracted, we have another massive Ling counterattack here. This 5th base is not going to get up and running. Bailings are headed towards the 4th. Well, 6th base even won't even get up and running. Bailings head towards the 5th. herO is focusing on his main assault, but he does go for the recall. Oh, he's going to try to hold on to his Nexus, but he will lose the mineral line once again. At the same time, the Lings are getting on top of the Disruptors. Oh my god, the Novas will go off though. Massive Novas connecting with DRG's army, but we have Lunkers. And we can't push in. We can try. Oof. Can try. I'm a little bit concerned that we don't have any Vipers. Oh, no, never mind. We got him. We got him. The Vipers have arrived. They still need a little bit more time. Ooh, 4 Lurkers go down in the blink of an eye. DRG just wasn't looking. He loses another Lurker. Without these Lurkers, he can't hold on. Uh-oh. Every single Lurker just got sniped. Oh my god, a Nova goes off as well. herO can still make this push happen. Even though herO has been having a hard time, this final fight may just barely go his way. With the death of every single one of those Lurkers, herO can keep pushing. We have 2 Lurkers remaining. The Vipers finally join the fight. DRG barely holding on. Oof. And there are those yoinks. 3 Disruptors do go down. Great positioning from DRG, but again, this is far closer than it should have been. Oh my god. herO just making some magic happen with those Disruptors. He was able to kill all the Lurkers, he was able to get beautiful connections on the Roaches as well. Suddenly, the advantage that DRG once had isn't there anymore. He's down in workers. he doesn't have that impressive army anymore because he lost all of his lurkers. He lost 6 lurkers already. He's trying to rebuild them. Oh, I appreciate the counterattack. It's going to work well. Lurker's going to be threatening the bases. At the same time, we have a Nidus into the main base of herO as well. We do have a massive Zealot counterattack, and ooh, DRG will be losing one of his bases. But the lurkers have arrived. And almost every single mineral line is now under threat. The entire army is forced back home, and that does expose the forward center base. I would have loved a Baneling run by here, but alas, DRG has other things in store. He's going for a Ling run by instead. He's going to be able to get on top of some of these Stalkers, but we have defensive DTs. The lurkers, they do not stop. The main army wants to try to punish this forward base. Still no Banelings, just mainly Ling counterattacks. We are preserving as much gas as we can. DTs clean up the Nidus in the main. We're not really getting too much damage here either. Finally, we're getting into the mineral line. As all this has been happening, DRG has been rebuilding his lurker army, remaxing, gathering energy on his Vipers. This did give DRG the time he needed to get back into this. Looking quite healthy as a result. And herO has been struggling for a while now, to be honest. We saw some really good moments with his army control, with his disruptors. But now he's down 60 supply. He has half the army supply of his opponent. It's crazy. The main army of herO has been spotted. DRG is aware. Going to be rotating over with everything he has. Is setting up a bit of a lurker counterattack. I love this because there is a Nidus to retreat. Lurker is going to be distracting herO for the time being. At the same time, the Lings are going for a run by here towards finally that center base. Overcharge is going to be able to hold on. The Archons do rotate over, but yeah, herO is being pulled apart. Oh my god, finally the 5th is going to go down as well. 5th goes down, 3rd is under threat. herO is being forced into an all-in situation. He does have Storm. No, sorry. Oh, he does not have Storm. I guess the High Templar are just for feedbacks. I guess. I mean, it'll help. Don't get me wrong. It will help. We are all in. It's all or nothing. Does catch a bunch of morphing in lurkers. He's wedging himself in between the bases as well. Oh, the High Templar are looking for the feedbacks. They get some. Oh my god. And the Novas will connect with the army. Viper's trying to just regather that energy. Really, all we need are some of Ducks. The Bailey's, they roll it in. No, every single High Templar goes down, and that's going to be it. That's going to be all she wrote. There is nothing left for herO. GG gets called, and DRG fights back, taking game number 2. GG. For the most part, DRG was in control of almost the entirety of that game. We were, if you recall, initially herO had a hard time. He was trying to hit that like 8-gate timing, but he got supply blocked. His 4th base was being cancelled by Ling counterattacks. He was forced to warp in at home. Like this timing that herO was trying to hit, he wasn't able to with +1. And he wasn't able to hit his timing with 2-1 either. Like herO was really struggling to assert himself, really slipping in some of his macro as well. And DRG was able to take full advantage of that. herO almost brought it back with his disruptors. Like his disruptor control was still on point, and he was able to make that game far closer than it should have been. There was that moment where herO killed 6 lurkers. He killed 6 lurkers, and he was able to almost break the defenses of DRG. But outside of that one moment, outside of that one fight, DRG was looking good. Looking damn good. We're getting into game number 3. Here we go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing Team Abydos. It is Dong Rae Gu. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player representing DRG Gaming. It is herO. Oh boy, what a game one. Sorry, a pretty intense game number 2 there overall, but really impressive stuff from DRG, you know, like he had an advantage, he didn't throw it away. There were some rough moments when it came to handling those disruptors and being able to avoid the Novas or being able to abduct the disruptors in time. There were a couple of rough moments like that, but for the most part, very solid play, very solid mid-game play from DRG. Constant run-bys, constant counterattacks. It was really impressive, kind of like the DRG of old. We love to see it. And herO has been put on notice. Suddenly, this isn't going to be looking anywhere as easy as he thought it would be. Oh boy. He's going to have to work for it, work quite hard, and yeah, we'll see what he has in store for us here on Neo Humanity. It is a much smaller map, the smallest map in the map pool. Because of it, we can see quite a lot of aggression. We can also see some more turtle play as well. And I worry a little bit. herO, he has turtled up to Skytoss before. I'm sure he's willing to do it again. And I hope that isn't this game. I hope not. Por favor. Don't do it to us, herO. Don't do it. As a scene, just being as annoying as possible, just trying to force some inefficient mining on these mineral patches. Behind this, we're getting into our Stargate opener as well. Again, standard from all sides for the time being. Again, the advantages of Neo Humanity, we've all seen it before. It is these choke points here outside the natural, outside the linear third, outside the triangular third, and outside the 4th base as well. Because of this, like, Protoss can choose to go for some more greedy, tech-heavy styles, focus on walling off these locations, and just turtling up and defending against whatever the Zerg player has to throw at them, and eventually get into the late game. Ooh. And here is already mixing things up. He's going for a Phoenix opener instead. So with this, he can hunt down some Overlords. With this, he can keep DRG in the dark as to the follow-up. And we'll see if this is just for map control or if herO does indeed intend to hide something. Because the first Overlord is going to be going down. We have Oracle production underway. I wonder if herO is willing to do his build, his Oracle build. It's Twilight Council into charge into Mass Oracle. Would be an interesting thing to see on Neo Humanity. I don't know how well it works here. We'll see. As the 3rd base is on the way, DRG immediately going to be sending his Lings across the map to try and deny it. There are 2 Adepts to defend. One at the natural, one at the 3rd. That should be enough because we haven't made an abundance of Lings or anything like that. Ooh, here looking for some more damage, and it looks like he's going to be able to pick up one of these queens. It's going to open things up for this Oracle to do some more damage, but is this really worth it because he only gets 2 drones? Oh. 2 drones go down. He does force some cancels on these buildings as well, but nothing too major. as herO does come across another one of these overlords. Again, same stuff. We have a third on the way. We've got our Forge, we've got our Twilight Council, so there is no Glaive follow-up. The faster Robo is interesting to me, though. We'll see if he goes for a faster Robotics Bay. As the Stasis Trap does get baited out by a single worker as well. We get a second one! Oh! Thankfully, DRG is paying attention. He is looking. And yeah, interesting stuff. We actually don't have Blink on the way. We have Charge instead. Okay. Very curious. So from here, we can rush into our Templar Archives to go into Charge Lot Archon. We can continue Oracle production, but there are no other Oracles in sight, so it's not going to be the Charge Lot Oracle all in. There is that Templar Archives that we were talking about. So this is going to be Charge Lot Archon from herO. And this can work really well, especially against Ling heavy compositions. Just because Lings are the counter and they are the answer to Blink Stalkers. So Zealots can do very well against that. They will require a Baneling Nest to deal with, which we haven't seen yet from DRG. Oh yeah, we're taking up quite a bit. We're not just getting into the Templar Archives, we're going for the Bay immediately as well. We're not as greedy as we otherwise could be, but yeah, this is basically along the lines of what we've been talking about on this map, where players can be just very tech heavy. We can see that herO, I mean, his army is literally 2 Adepts. 2 Adepts and 2 Zealots. Like, he doesn't really have an army right now. He is just focusing so much, all of his economy, all of his resources on static defense, on production, on tech buildings, on upgrades. Like, pretty greedy stuff here from herO. Now we have that forward 4th on the way. These Archons are going to be trying to keep DRG back at home. Keep him busy. While herO gets away with a 4th. Gets away with minimal units. And so far he's done a decent job at this. I mean, the Archon going to try and snipe that drone, but 5th base will go down. You'd love to see it. But here is Prism even taking a couple of hits as well. So he does have to be careful here overall, just because, again, any kind of unit lost at this stage of the game is going to be that much more detrimental. And yeah, we were talking about it. Initially, I was talking about how turtly you can be on this map because of the terrain, because of all these choke points as well. And herO is doing just that. Very tech heavy, going into disruptors very early on, and now we have the Fleet Beacon, we have the Stargate, we're rushing into Skytoss. Again, this is one of the more popular maps to do this on. Even the rocks are being knocked down in the middle of the map. Just providing a more narrow choke point here in between the bases. We do see that DRG has had enough though. He's droned up to 77. He's maxing out on Ling, Bane, Roach. No Ravagers. And his goal here is to try to break herO before he can get into Skytoss. It's a lot of Banelings. Oh boy. The first couple of carriers are on the way. I do appreciate how herO has gone about this though, because we have seen some Protoss players being more greedy than herO, but here herO, he prioritizes his disruptors first. He knows how valuable they can be defensively, and they're like a stepping stone. They're a stepping stone to get into Skytoss. There's kind of a method to the madness. DRG now maxed out on just pure Ling, Bane, Roach army. I feel like hitting this forward base is exactly what herO wants. We do see DRG rotating over towards the right-hand side. He is spotted by the Zelnaga. herO is going to be setting up stasis traps here as a result. God, the cannons, the shield batteries, the stasis traps. Ay, ay, ay. And DRG's on a timer. The longer he waits, the more carriers we're gonna get. And we don't have the answer to carriers. DRG, he's throwing down a Hydrogen right now when we could probably use a Spire instead. Going ground Zerg against someone who's already got Mass Disruptor is probably not the wisest choice. He does scout with his Ling. He does see the carrier. He knows. Knows Papi is going to be threatening to push on forward. Banelings are rolling in from multiple angles. And they're going for that mineral line. Novas are going to be going off as well. They will connect with the Ling Bane, but the mineral line goes down. 7 probes do fall, but this push is not going to work out. Just look how many. We have 4 carriers already. And there's nothing that shoots up. Ooh, every single roach goes down. herO trading so efficiently. May have lost 8 workers, but we can lose 8 workers. Now herO, he can go for a counterattack. He should go for a counterattack. But he's gonna have to defend against these Lings. And he does. Oh god, as DRG is just continuing to send everything he can across the map, but he's been bamboozled. Spire gets thrown down now that DRG realizes what's going on, but this is a late realization. And herO's already rotated over with his carriers. He's already here. Banelings, they take down some of the stack defense, but herO, he is sitting back pretty. Here we go. It's time to counterattack herO. He is ahead in supply. The Spire is about to finish up. We can get into Corruptors. Another Nova's going to be going off. The carriers have arrived. Do we even have any larva for Corruptors? We're making Ling Bane right now. Still nothing shoots up. Uh-oh. We had the bank for it. We have the Spire. We could have made some Corruptors, but again, we're just focusing on Ling Bane instead. We're running past the carriers. We're going to try and hope that they turn around. Corruptors are now on the way. And even if this Ling Bane counterattack kill, even if we kill the Nexus, it's not going to be enough. herO can focus on his assault. Nexus will go down, actually. Not a bad run by DRG. But we're about to have 11 Corruptors, and I don't think that's enough. We'll see. Maybe with the power of the Spores, and maybe with the Queens as well. Oh, as we kill a base and we just go straight for the recall. herO doesn't want to risk it. DRG knocked down to 3 mining bases. 2 mining bases, really. Oh boy. At least he was able to deny this fresh base of herO, so at least there is that. But again, DRG just is not in the best position. We don't have a lot to support these carriers, to be fair. We are lacking Archons. We only have 3 Archons, and we do require more than that. Especially if we're going to be splitting up our army. Yeah, the answer is going to be Void Rays, yep. Archons, Void Rays, they're both amazing at protecting these carriers, and we are up to 11 carriers. This is critical mass. This is more than critical. This is overkill at this point. We are moving out prematurely, though. We don't have that, like, we need the Void Rays here and now, and just pure carrier like this is going to have a hard time. One carrier does go down, but it's not going to be enough. GG gets called, and herO will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. Oh, that's the wrong button. Hold on. Yeah. GG, well played. Congratulations to herO. DRG, I thought he was looking to max out on Ling Bane and just ape into his opponent. I thought he had realized what was going on, but he did realize a little bit too late. If you remember, by the time he saw the carriers, there were already, I want to say, 8 of them, and the Spire was so late. The Spire was so incredibly late. Like, the carrier count was already well underway when DRG started Spire production, and started the Spire, and yeah, he was just very unprepared for that. He was not ready for SkyToss at all, and as a result, we saw what happened. We saw DRG just try to do the best he can with his ground army, try to cripple the economy of herO, but herO's defensive position was too good. The cannons, the shield batteries, the stasis traps, the SkyToss, like, it was oof. The disruptors as well. herO doing a great job at turtling and taking into SkyToss on Neo Humanity. Again, this is something that is unique, to Neo Humanity, just because it's so condensed, just because the bases are so close together, and again, the attack paths are so narrow as well. Like, this is the ideal map for Protoss players to turtle and go into SkyToss against Zerg. This is the map to do it on. So GG, well played. Congratulations to herO. And now we have our grand finals. We have our 2 finalists. It's going to be that PvP. It's going to be herO versus Classic. Let's go.